how you doing? Justin here. Today we are checking out John Mayer's super tasty solo from his song Gravity. Really, really nice stuff going on in this song. It's one that you're going to need to do a lot of listening to if you're going to try and pick up on the subtle things here. And that's really, I guess, what you should be trying to do anyway. So I'd strongly recommend that you have a go at working it out on your own first, because you'll naturally pick up a lot of those subtle things, the slides and the way the vibrato works and the bends and stuff. You know, I'm going to show you best I can, but, you know, a lot of that stuff really is better learned by ear. So if you can, I'd stop this video, go and have a go at working out the song, you know, using your ear, and then come back and kind of check it against the video and fine tune it if you need to. I'm fairly confident I got this pretty right as far as the fingering goes and the positions. A lot of it's kind of obvious from the slides. So when I'm transcribing songs like this, it's a little bit of kind of detective work. So the notes are fairly easy, but then working out where he played it in order to get to the next bit, that kind of thing. I guess that takes a little bit of experience, but you know, you're not going to get that experience unless you try doing it for yourself anyway. So I'm going to take you through, first of all, the intro solo. We'll just go through it nice and slowly. I'll take you through each lick and explain a couple of the, you know, the tricks to trying to get it right. And then we'll do the main solo too. That's obviously going to be better in a close-up. So let's do it. Okay, so that's the first solo there. We're starting off with the second finger sliding up to the 9th fret of the 3rd string. Then first finger 8th fret on the 2nd string. Going to play that note twice. Then third finger's going down on the 10th fret, still on the 2nd string. We're going to do a tone bend, release, and then bend it back up again and add vibrato. So from the 3rd finger, bend, release, up, and add vibrato. A little tail on it, I think, as well. Really important here with this kind of tune, especially it sounds to me like he's got his amp quite cranked and he's playing quite quietly. That's how you get that. There's a particular quality that he gets here. Martin Knopfler also, I think, does a similar thing with the amp really cranked up and then just playing quite delicately. Hard for me to kind of replicate here, to be honest. But that's one of the things that you have to be aware of when you're doing that, is that you have to be really aware of noise and stuff. So make sure that you're keeping the palm kind of resting on the thicker string so that you're not getting any extra strings ringing out. You know, when I'm playing that note, the edge of my thumb is kind of resting on all of the strings beneath it there, so that none of them are going to ring out as well. So I'm kind of, some of the work is getting done by the picking hand as I'm playing. You know, so all of that's covered. The tip of the underneath of the first finger there's muting the thinner string. So I can really be confident that I'm only going to get that, you know, that one note. And here another trick for this kind of thing is I'm using my 3rd finger to touch the thinner string. So when I'm doing that bend here, my first finger is, my thumb is kind of sitting on all of the strings to make sure that they're all dead, and the 3rd finger is resting on the thinner string. So there's not going to be any of this. If I don't do any of that muting, you get a bit of this sort of stuff where the bend comes down and it pulls some of the other strings with it. Especially if you might get, I mean, there's a little bit of noise there. But, you know, you do the best as you can to try and keep it as, you know, noise-free as possible. The second lick, almost identical. So this time, we got 2 bends on the 10th fret, and then we play the 10th fret without the bend twice. Okay, again, trying to get the feel for that, so the right dynamic, some notes louder than others, that kind of thing. You know, I'm not saying that you should definitely copy the whole, you know, John Mayer thing. That would be a good exercise, but also try and get a feel for it yourself, how you feel like playing it, so that you're putting some of yourself in as well. After those 2 licks, there's another little kind of a callback lick, which I think is in the rhythm guitar part, but I'm putting it in this one because it kind of fits nicely against the rhythm guitar part. I've got it here in my transcription as being the 5th fret on the 4th string, although I've noticed that I've been playing it probably wrongly as the 5th fret on the 3rd string. I mean, they both sound good, but I suspect my transcription is right. So the 5th fret of the 4th string. Then 3rd finger's going down in the 7th fret of the 4th string. 1st finger goes down the 5th fret of the 3rd string, and you slide both those notes up a tone, and then move it back 2 frets and play it twice. Again, it's just a subtle little kind of answer to the main melody. It's just I think it's, like I said, I think it's the rhythm guitar part, but sounds great to learn it anyway. Then we've got the next lick. Same as the first lick, you know, the repetition, really, really important, something I say all the time that generally students seem to ignore when I'm doing workshops and stuff, but it's very important to repeat phrases when you're playing because it gives the solo some sort of sense of communicating something. And then we've got a really nice variation. Love that little reverse bend. So that's all still like the first lick, but you want to mute while the bend is still at the top, probably with a thumb on the pick in there, and then you're playing it again, probably with an up pick, release it, flick it, and then play it again. So pick while it's still up, release the bend, flick, pick with a down. Such a nice lick. Because a little bit of the vibrato helps it on its way as well. You know, and the styling of the vibrato is important as well. That's the kind of thing that you want to be listening out for and trying to replicate a bit. I'm not saying I've got it exactly like John's, you know, definitely tone and touch for me is nowhere near Mr. Mayer, but it's something that I'm still working on, and I think it's better for paying attention to it, you know, and I'd recommend that you do the same thing, of course. And then we just finished that little solo with 9th fret on the 3rd string, 10th fret on the 2nd string. And to, you know, vibrato again, and that's the end of that intro solo. So I'll just play it once more all of the way through. I don't think I'm going to try and play it even slower because it's already pretty slow. Hopefully I've explained it enough. So here we go, the intro solo. Now, as far as the rhythm goes for this solo, I think you're just going to have to listen to it. You know, it's a 12/8 feel here, so the counts become really, really difficult, and it would be so much easier for you to just listen to the original recording and cop it and play along with it and learn to hear how it goes rather than trying to count it. So I'm not even going to try and give you the count. It'd be really difficult for me, difficult for you to understand as well. So just pay attention to where the notes fall with the chords, where the chords are changing. That's really important. And playing along with the solo as often as you can is the best way to absorb that kind of thing. Now the second solo, also some really, really beautiful, subtle things that I'll try and take you through as well. The way he's playing it, and the predominantly it's kind of nice slides, I think, is what he's doing here that's so special. The very first line, 10th fret, 12th fret on the 2nd string, and then a slide up to the 15th fret. Now when you're doing that kind of thing, it's really important that you look here before you start the slide, right? So I'm here. Now my eyes are at the 15th fret, and I slide my finger up to it. If you kind of follow it with your eyes, you're almost certainly going to overshoot it, because as your finger's going up and your eyes say, oh, you're at the right fret, it's going to keep going before the signal to stop the hand kind of works. But there's something about if you just stare here and then say to your fingers, like, slide up to where my eyes are looking, it seems to work a lot better. You're going to find that anytime you're doing big position jumps, it's a really great trick. Just to, yeah, look where you're going. So 10th fret, 12th fret, slide up to the 15th fret, and slide it back to the 12th fret. You really hear a nice 10th fret, 12th fret again. Sorry. See, that I wasn't looking at the right thing. I was looking at my little page to make sure I was going to play the right stuff and thinking about what I was doing next, and my slide, you know, kind of fell over the line instead of going straight to it. Really important to look where you want it to go. Now the second lick, even more important now because we're going from the 12th fret to the 17th. You're going to have to practice that. I'm still, you know, as long as I remember to look at it fine and I'm not distracted by other things. One thing that just to mention here, when you're doing a lot of this sort of sliding stuff on the string, because you're having to use, you can't like let your hand up. You have to keep the pressure down. As you're doing that, if your strings are really old, if you look at your guitar strings and they're really black, that means they're kind of rusty and rough and they've got loads of finger gunk on them. And if you're practicing that kind of thing a lot, you will wear out the skin on your fingers pretty quickly because the strings become a little bit like sandpaper. So you might want to think about doing a string change or using some coated strings for this kind of solo. I think these are the Diodario coated strings, EXP things. So they feel like it. It's been a little while since I changed the strings actually, so almost certainly it is, otherwise they'd be all black and gunky. Anyway, so 10th fret, 12th fret, slide up to the 17th fret, then we've got 15 to 12 flick off, then 14th fret on the 3rd string, back to the 12th fret on the 2nd string, and then that was a bit cumbersome sounding, but a little nice subtle slide back to the 12th fret. Okay, so just nice, just softly, really pay attention to how those slides sound. In this sort of song where there's nothing really technically complicated, these are the technical things that you want to be working on. It's not about trying to play really fast or do some fancy stuff. It's about making it really tasty and sweet and trying to put something into it. So, and that's where you know, practicing, just getting a nice little slide back there. Getting the slide here, it's going to take a bit of practice then. Here, nice little, you know, delicate flick off. Then, can you get that really mean something there when you're doing that little slide, not making it too clunky, you know? Bloody phone's going crazy today. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, sorry about the phone. Oh, enough already, phone. Crikey. Okay, then we've got this great lick. Okay, which is 15, 17 on the 2nd string, then 19th fret on the thinner string. Then the same thing, 15, 17, 17th fret on the thinner string. Okay, he does it twice. What's important to get is that this one is happening first of all on beat 4, so check out where the note falls. Don't worry too much about it. They're in time, they're 16th notes, but you want this one falling on beat 4 and this one falling on beat 1 the first time. Then, okay, the second time they're played closer together. It's really, really, really nice line that. And then we've got another kind of, still basing it off the same theme again, that idea of repetition being really important. We've got 15, 17, then 19th fret, so up, it's just a semitone, up, down, 15th fret. Now it's one of those licks where I very, very rarely bend with my little finger. I'm not sure what John, I mean, thinking about it, it's actually easier with my 3rd finger. Need to get some close-up video action to find out what John's doing, but yeah, either use your 3rd or the 4th finger on that. Then we've got the same idea, big jump here. Now 3rd finger on the 15th fret of the 2nd string, same idea. So tone, bend, so that's the difference. So, sorry, up, down, 12th fret. Now for the last part, we've got the 2nd finger sliding up to the 16th fret, that's 2nd finger. Then 15, 17 on the 2nd string. Then 1st finger's going to slide all of the way back to the 10th fret, which there would be easier ways of playing this, but particularly for the next lick, I'm pretty sure that's what's going on. Okay, it's big jumps, 16, 15, 17, 10. Again, you want to be looking at that 10th fret while you're sliding back to it. Then you've got another really nice lick, which is going to be 8 to 10 hammer on, slide up to 15, and slide back to the 13. Okay, this is going to take you some practice likely. 8, 10, hammer on, slide up to 15, slide back to 13. Okay, just practicing it real slow till you get it. You can hear I'm really here. I'm trying to kind of, it feels like I'm pressing into the fretboard to get that. So I'm really, it's almost flicking as well. To get, you'll find with these kind of things that if you practice it nice and slowly, it'll start to feel easy. And when it feels easy, you're probably getting it right. Lovely lick. Something you can see on the live versions of this song, you know, the Light Is version. He seems to be exploring a lot this idea of playing, you know, big slides and these, you know, playing on one string quite a lot. He does some really nice harmonic things as well, where he's playing. You have to see behind the nut here, but he plays harmonic. I can't do it enough on this guitar. It's already, because I've got a string tree on there already, but let's see, bending it out of tune as well. But anyway, pressing down behind the nut there to make you know, the harmonics up is a very, very classy trick. He does it and gets it so in tune. It's I had a quick go at it when I was doing this transcription and researching for this tune. I was like, whoa, that was really, really difficult. I might end up having another go at it myself, but that was just then, that was kind of hurting my fingers. I hope you've enjoyed this look at John Mayer's beautiful playing in this tune. I really think it's important to listen a lot to the original recording and try and cop some of those subtle things. You know, when you're learning a solo that's technically challenging, you can spend a lot of time thinking about the technique and the timing and all that sort of stuff. But with a solo like this, it's all about the touch and the tone and trying to draw out something, you know, a bit bigger than just getting the notes right. The notes are relatively easy, I suppose, but getting your bends really in tune, getting the vibrato nice, making sure there's no noise, the slides are going right to where they should be. You know, how hard you play all of the notes is also really important, because, you know, when you play them nice and softly and then another note loud, it changes how it feels, and that's the key thing here that you want to be paying attention to. So anyway, hope you enjoyed the rhythm lesson as well. Remember, they're all over on the website. A brand new website just launched last week as well. If you haven't been to go and check it out, go and have a look now. It's really, really cool. You can sign in, save lessons to your dashboard, leave notes that only you can see on every song and every lesson. Got a little grade system thing going, so you can see all of the different levels of all of the different tunes, and there's a distinct pathway now through all of my lessons, more than 1,000 guitar lessons over there. Well, I think it's actually at 1,300, I think was the last count. I've added a bunch of stuff since the migration to the new server as well. So yeah, go and have a look if you haven't already. I mean, maybe you're watching this in 10 years time, in which case I might have even done another website revamp. Maybe, hopefully not. It's been pretty painful. Anyway, do remember to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you dig what I do. I really appreciate your support, and I'll see you for plenty more very soon. You take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.